OtraXFavor. This is one more, please.
Ya me supo bien rica la bebida, bro.
Ya. ¿A qué te supo?
Más como lo dulce.
Mm-hmm.
Siento lo dulce at the back.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's the plan. It's a little sour, but then it had a nice sweet kick at the end. Y no te sientes la boca seca.
Sí. No, está rico, güey. Al principio le probé la primera vez y dije, shit, no creo que me lo voy a tomar. Pero ahorita ya.
Salud.
Salud, güey, gracias.
Y bienvenidos a Otra, por favor. My name is Richie, and as you guys know, the podcast is about having conversations that revolve fútbol, vida, and cultura. Today, I have the honor of hosting an amazing guy with an amazing platform, Mau Tapia Lara.
Mau Tapia Luna.
Tapia Luna. Mauricio Tapia Luna.
Ándale.
Y tiene el podcast de Platicando Con Mau.
Platicando con Mau, correcto.
¿Ya cuánto llevas con el podcast?
Fíjate, ya llevo un añito, güey. Un añito que empecé el proyecto. Y ha estado chido. La verdad me ha gustado mucho.
Dude, what we're going to do is we're going to mix it English and Spanish. Para la raza, ya saben ahí todos. Está con madre. Yo lo empecé a escuchar creo que a principios de este año, a fines del año pasado. Y lo que me gustó es de que traes a gente de diferentes rumbos de la vida. Maestros, amigos tuyos, músicos. Nos has llevado también a nosotros. Bueno, a mí, a Michelle. Saludos, Michelle. Y algo que yo veo mucho y es cómo tú tratas de encontrar una manera de cómo puedas reconciliar las diferencias en diferentes puntos de vista por una conversación. Que eso es muy difícil para hacer cuando tienes a dos personas que luego no se conocen y platican. Ahí ya cuando por eso está una chevo o algo, se arman los trancazos, pero güey, cada episodio que escucho tuyo, creo yo que parte, bueno, no parte, sino lo importante es el host, el guest, y la persona que llega a tu espacio se siente a gusto y se están con madre, güey.
Sí. Me gusta mucho que la gente se abra, güey. Como que hable y diga las cosas que quiere decir. No me gustaría que alguien dé una imagen así falsa. Siempre trato de ser real con lo que digo y lo que hago. Pero sí, a mí siempre me ha interesado mucho lo que la gente piensa o topics que son un poquito incómodos de hablar.
Uh-huh.
Recientemente he estado platicando mucho con mis amigos y antes de traer las pláticas a los podcasts, usualmente platico con mis amigos. Y ahorita he estado platicando mucho porque la mayoría de mis amigos pues somos hombres y me gusta preguntarles cosillas como del aborto o sea, cosas incómodas que alguien no quiere a veces platicar sobre esas cosas y me gusta hacerlo con gente diferente para ver otros puntos de vista porque tal vez yo estoy mal y me gusta, no sé si decir estar bien, pero hacer las cosas bien, por lo menos.
Creo que algo que uno puede encontrar en la vida es siempre tener esa mentalidad de que uno está mal o uno empieza de cero.
Sí.
Porque ahí es donde siento yo que agarras más de cuando te sientes la persona que dices, güey, yo me lo sé todo. Porque al final no creo que... Sí, sabemos algunas cosas, pero creo yo que este mundo es infinito y hay muchas cosas por explorar y aprender.
No, nada más eso, bro. Yo lo miro más como de que no estamos seguros de nada. Eso al pensar en eso, yo pienso que a veces los conflictos o las cosas que ahorita está pasando mucho, güey, son cosas que no importan, la verdad, güey. No tienen nada de importancia. Deberíamos de enfocarnos en cosas que sí están pasando, que son malas. Pero no, andamos, los humanos, güey, no podemos nada más coexistir, güey.
Nos gusta agarrarnos a madrazos desde el principio. Ya ves, a Caín y Abel son carnales y están peleando por envidia.
No, y los humanos somos así, bro. Yo me acuerdo cuando empezó Austin FC, güey. La porra, güey, muy unida al principio, los primeros años. Yo me acuerdo, güey, qué bonito estuvo. Y ya para la segunda season, como al medio, empezaron a salir como unos problemitas entre ellos. Y yo decía, mira, los humanos no pueden estar contentos, güey. No tienen que encontrar cosas de qué pelear para que se sientan bien. O no sé si es que se sientan bien, ¿verdad?
Creo que encontramos siempre cosas para sentirnos con la razón.
Sí.
Muchas veces como que, güey, pues ¿para qué? Pero antes de seguirle, I always want to say thank you for everyone that listens to our episode in every platform that we have it. I really appreciate it. And also, if you have any questions, you want to, be part of it, you can always hit me up. I'll give you my social media stuff later. And also, thank you, Still Austin, for once again coming through. Today, I'm drinking what we're drinking, what I call the cordial marmalade. This one actually has orange marmalade in it, or mermelada. So that makes it it makes it a sweet but refreshing, and you don't have a sour aftertaste towards the end. Pero let's go into your life, Mau. Can you let everyone know a little bit more about you and a little bit more about Mau? What is something that what people should know about Mau? Well, now, the reason why I'm asking you is because in your podcast, you mentioned quite a bit that you don't want people to like the person, or like for example, like get to know you more than the personal level. So we're going to take it a little bit to the personal side today and switch it up.
Yeah, no worries, bro. So I'm actually from Mexico. I was born over there. That's why my Spanish is so good, I think. So I came here when I was like about 6. I don't remember much of Mexico, bro. So, like people ask me about, because I'm from El DF, so Chilango. And people like try to, también, como aquí el camarada. People try to tell me like, little insiders that only Chilangos would get. And I'll be like, oh, bro, like, no. I've been here in Austin since I was 6, so I consider myself an Austinite. That's what they call themselves, right?
Yeah.
So I started going to school, bro, but I'm going to be honest, bro, not much happened when I went to school. Middle school, high school, not much happened in my life, bro. Like, to be honest, it was just school, and my mom had 2 jobs, so I had to go back and take care of my brothers. Well, not take care of them because I was a kid too, but, at least watch over them. Yeah, watch over them because I was the oldest. So that was my life, like, throughout most of middle school, all middle school and most of high school, bro.
And so from Mexico City, do you remember like at least one thing, or you remember the time when you came to the country?
From Mexico City, I remember, and I've said this before in my podcast. I remember stealing, bro. It's a Chilango thing, right? I remember stealing.
Ese eterno estereotipo que siempre vamos a tener.
Sorry. Es que no sé, güey. Desde muy chiquito me llamaba la atención, I guess. Siempre digo una historia donde I stole some of my grandma's money because she would give, no sé si te conté, she would give, you know how they do the when they pass that little trade where you put the money?
La ofrenda.
La ofrenda, there you go, yeah. So over there they had this tradition where the kids will take the ofrenda to the priest. The priest was like in the front, like up the stairs, like you had to go upstairs todavía tenías que subir, güey. O sea, nos estaban haciendo trabajar. So you would give the money to the kids, and the kids will take it over there because it was beautiful. It was it's a good image. Kids coming and giving you money, So I remember.
In the Catholic church?
It was a Catholic church, yeah. So my grandma would give me 100 pesos para la ofrenda, which is a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So I would go up there and I would tell the guy that was receiving the money that we were trying to donate 40, 30 pesos. So he would give me change. He would like, here you go. So I would just walk back and I would keep the change, bro.
Y dijiste, pa' acá.
Pa' acá.
Allá,
que se iba para las maquinitas, güey.
Allá, pa' acá.
Se iba todo para las maquinitas.
Sí. ¿Cuál maquinita te gustaba? ¿Cuál?
Me gustaba mucho King of Fighters, bro.
Dude.
Like KFC.
So, King of Fighters, there's a story. I think that company was actually not doing good. And they released that specific game in Mexico that's where it got popular. And I would say because of how popular it was in Mexico, it pretty much brought them to life. So now they did like a theme, like, they're fighting in Mexico type of thing.
Yeah.
But even up to date, people still play it.
Bro, I recently saw a video. How funny that we're talking about this, where they were saying that the top players de ese juego, they're always Mexicans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they even play against Japanese people, which are, no sé si son japoneses o son coreanos, no me acuerdo de dónde son los creadores del juego, but even against them, bro, like los mexicanos ganan esos concursos casi siempre, güey.
Como unos buenos bagotes que somos cuando crecimos.
Robándole a las abuelitas.
Robando a las abuelitas la ofrenda.
Sí, sí me siento mal, güey. Sí me siento mal, la neta. Sí, digo.
But I think, I mean, if you look at it, the way I think about it is, we grew up in some environment that it was somehow normalized. I mean, it's different here, of course, you know, but in Mexico, like say a block away from where I lived, ahí estaban los güeyes cada noche a las 8 de la noche en punto robando a los microbuses.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So, I mean, even, and then like, you know, across the street also there was a dumpster. People just went in and threw the trash and, you know, like in the callejón, and then the dumpster will come and pick it up in the morning, but they will do it so they won't pay the trash people to come.
Yeah.
So, todos estamos, creo yo, que como mexicanos crecimos con un chingo de desorganización que pues hemos aprendido a organizarnos más cuando hemos al crecer. But it's still, I mean, there's just things that I think for us at first, maybe it was normal, it was funny, but now when we look at it, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we did pretty. So you grew up in Mexico City, you came here. If you don't mind me asking, how did you guys come to the States?
So the story of how I crossed is actually pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. I came through Piedras Negras and we swam the river.
Okay.
I don't know if that's good to say, right? I don't know if it's
you could say it.
Yeah. It's actually true, bro. I don't usually like share stuff like this. But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool story. It's funny.
A ver.
So yo me crucé y el coyote, güey, le valió verga, nomás like, nos dejó al otro lado, güey, nos cruzó, nos dejó y nos dijo, nada más caminen para allá un poquillo y van a ver una troca negra. Nah, hombre, like we walked for a while and it was just me and this lady. No pasé con familiares ni nada. Pasé yo solo con una señora que no conocía, güey.
¿A los 6 años?
Sí, 6, 7 años.
Damn.
Me acuerdo un poquillo todavía bastante, güey. Un poquito bastante. Se escucha medio raro, pero sí es cierto.
¿Poquito mucho?
Un poquito mucho. Recuerdo nada más caminar y no encontramos la troca porque había una calle, o sea, grandísima. Era como un highway, güey. Había muchos carros, o sea, no nos dieron la información suficiente, ni las placas, ni nada. Nada más nos dijeron, váyanse a una troca. Y pues sí la encontramos, de pura casualidad la encontramos. Y nos pararon después. Yo me perdí, pues mi mamá después de ese tiempo no supo nada de mí. Nadie supo nada de mí porque estuve perdido con extraños por unos buenos 3 semanas, bro.
3 semanas.
Todo eso me traumó. Yo pienso que por eso no me gusta andar con nadie. Andar con nadie, bro.
Y cuando, por decir, en lo que estaban perdidos, ¿en qué parte te acuerdas que estaban perdidos?
No, bro. ¿No? Yo nomás me acuerdo que estaba... yo creo entramos por San Antonio. No sé, la verdad no estoy seguro, bro. I ended up en Houston porque nos paró la migra. Pero nos dejó ir que porque... ya les habían dicho unas cosas. Y la señora era de Guatemala, creo, y ellos les dan un tipo como de permiso, creo, de estar aquí todavía. So, en ese tiempo eso fue lo que les dieron y me lo dieron a mí también porque era menor de edad. Y nos dejaron ir, güey, mi mamá me recogió en Houston y esa fue mi historia, güey. Pues así estaba. Ahora me pongo a pensar y miro a mis niñas y digo... Hombre, que eso estaría durísimo, güey. Las generaciones de hoy en día sí están... yo miro a mi niña y digo,
they already got it made.
Sí.
No, it's ¿cómo se llama? I think for me it's actually I'm starting to wanting to, you know, to emphasize a little more on immigrant stories también, because I feel like there's a lot of untold stories that, you know, can bring awareness. And dude, it's not, for me, I don't, you know, I grew up across the border and I've always, since day one, I was like, you know what, I'm not ashamed of it. Actually, I want to share it because I want people to know, like, you know, we're here, in our motive here is to do everything possible to do things better in this country, to contribute. But sometimes, you know, it's up to us to share our stories and then let people know, like, it hasn't been the easiest path, pero aquí estamos para echarle ganas. But switching to, like, say your story, los agarró inmigración. Did they do you remember if they give you a removal proceeding or anything that said, you know what, by this age you gotta show up and check in?
Que yo me acuerdo, no, bro, no. I remember them being nice, actually, bro. They bought me McDonald's.
So,
I remember them, like, none of them speaking Spanish, bro. I remember none of them speaking Spanish, but somehow they figured that I was hungry. So I was like, I've been, también ahorita que hay mucho problema con, cops and, like, all this stuff. I've always been lucky because every encounter that I've had with officers or anybody that does that type of stuff, they've always been good, So
how do you feel when you see a cop? Do you think, like, because for me, I had a story cuando mi papá se lo llevaron and I was, in high school, and I was like, wait, he's the most innocent person that I know. ¿Cómo te lo vas a llevar a la cárcel? So I have a bit of a, ¿cómo se llama? Rencor, a little bit of a, a grudge against them. But that's another story. But if talking about you, like, say, how do you feel now when you see a cop, like, in the road? You're like, whatever.
No, I don't feel anything, to be honest, bro. Y siento que ellos sienten esas cosas, like, no las cosas, pero la tensión, por lo menos, right? Yeah. I try to put myself in their shoes, and being a cop is there's people that shouldn't be cops, bro. There's people that shouldn't be their job, but being a cop is hard. At least I think it'd be a hard job for me, especially because they gotta take some tough decisions, and like, I don't know, I don't think that's easy.
It's not an easy job for sure, because I think, at the end of the day, they're still human. Don't make mistakes, but it's just, for me, where they place them. That's where it matters.
Lo que pasa también, güey, es que mucha de la gente que se mete a ser policías ya vienen con ya problemas, como que ya vienen, no quiero decir racistas, pero ya vienen como que ya persiguiendo un tipo de personas, ¿sí me entiendes? Mm-hmm. Como la gente que no le gusta, a los güeros que no les gustan los morenos, ellos ya entran así con esa, ya antes de que fueran policías eran así, y ya siendo policías, pues ya
they enhance it.
Sí, ya pues saben que van a estar protegidos porque se protegen entre ellos, y pues está loco.
I think a cop, the career, as, it can enhance some behaviors, whether, the behavior of serving, and also the behavior of being an asshole.
Sí.
Because usually, like, if a cop is going to be joining, the academy and then go through all the training and want to serve the community, I think through the training, he's going to find tools to serve it and do the right thing. But also the cop that, that was an asshole from the, before they were a cop, because of the power, they're going to become more of an asshole.
Yeah, sí.
I mean, sometimes we also, in society, we give them the reason why, they're assholes. So it's party for me, the citizens, party for me, the cops. Es un pedo de todos.
Sí, la neta que sí. Es que también los policías no tienen yo pienso que no tienen el training. I feel like I've seen some videos where they've gotten sued, because they do use their power for bad and they get sued, and I've seen some of these footages where they're interviewing cops, and bro, they don't know much. They ask them stuff that they should know because it's your job, but they don't know, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. How is this guy being a cop his whole life, like a lieutenant, and he doesn't know, like, the laws? It's weird, bro, but like, es puro poder ahí también, y siento que es como un trabajo de gobierno.
Oh, it is indeed.
Sí.
It is indeed.
Sí.
Yes. Hey, if you're a cop out there, you're listening to this, I would be more than glad, you're more than willing to come and talk so we can, come to Jesus moment, because I have a lot of, a lot of point of views about it, but we could talk to one that actually, like, it's cool. But going back to yours, so te trataron bien y ¿cómo llegaste a tu mamá? Le dijeron, aquí está tu hijo, aquí está el Mau, y el Mau con su Happy Meal.
Sí, no, sí se tardaron todavía un poquito de tiempo.
Okay.
Creo sí pasamos 2 noches ahí en el reclusorio porque fue fin de semana. Uh-huh. Y pues ya sabes que si no hay juez, pues no te dejan ir.
Y luego más si es feriado.
Ajá. No me acuerdo la verdad exactamente qué días fueron, pero sé que nos tuvieron ahí un poquito. Y te digo, fueron amables, me dieron cobijas a mí. Uh-huh. Así nos separaron. Yo me acuerdo que sí, no me acuerdo si me pusieron con gente o no, pero uh-huh. Dormí ahí y luego al otro día la señora tenía un dinero porque ella se había guardado un dinero. Uh-huh. Llegando aquí lo cambió, no me acuerdo qué había pasado. Y tomamos un bus para allá, para Houston. Y yo tenía un papelito escondido en mi pantalón que era el número de teléfono de mi mamá.
Ok.
Y se lo di a la señora. Porque a mí no me checaron. Los policías, digo, pues me miraron, pues era niño. ¿Verdad?
¿Qué va a traer?
Sí, ¿qué va a traer?
Puros crankies y
sí.
bubalús.
y le di el número a la señora y ya le llamó a mi mamá. Y pues mi mamá me fue a recoger allá.
Sí.
Yeah, and after that, bro, I've been here in Austin, Texas.
Been here in Austin.
Yeah.
What, now that you're in Austin, what is something you recall, like, it was fun, like, one from your childhood here?
Bro, nothing, bro. I'm telling you. I feel like I spent my whole... I met people after high school. Oh, no, during high school.
Yeah.
And everybody talks about all these fun things that they used to do in Austin, bro. I never got to do anything. I really was at home taking care of my brothers. I've seen a lot of memes where they post the Highland Mall. They post the pictures and they're like, memories were built here. Never went to Highland Mall, bro. I went a few times, just really quick. But it was never like, to go hang around with my friends. I never went to the movies either, bro. I started finding out about movie theaters until, I knew of them, but like I didn't really, go with my friends either. So I feel like I didn't have a childhood.
You didn't have a childhood? And,
which is cool.
Which is cool because, I think now you have good kids. So you're trying to give them everything possible you probably didn't have. But so you don't have, you feel like you don't have much because a lot of people could probably relate. Same for us, la falta de varo sometimes.
Yeah.
And it didn't allow you to do more than, what you had in front of you. But over time, I think as we grow, we start, getting our own, job and making our own money and then experience stuff that we probably didn't experience when we were young. What is something that you did when you first got your job, like your first job and, your first paycheck? Where did you spend it on?
Güey, me compré weed, bro.
See?
I feel like I started smoking. Right after I left my mom's house, I started smoking a lot more because I did used to smoke, but it was like, not a lot. But whenever I started getting my own money, I feel like I spent a lot of money on weed, which is not good. Not at that age. Now I think about it and I'm like, damn, I could have had some money saved up because I was making good money. I was young, making good money.
Yeah,
well,
how old were you when you got your first paycheck?
I moved out at 17, I think.
Dang, dude.
Yeah. And I went to school and I was working.
Yeah.
I was working at this sports bar and I was making good money, bro. I was making like $200 a night. So I got a place and I started spending money on dumb shit, bro.
Yeah. No, so you were 17, 16 when you started working in $200 a night.
Yeah.
Wait, that's like $1 million for someone that, at that age.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to do something stupid.
Yeah. No,
which is, big one is, you haven't experienced life and then you're coming in and making all this money working in a sports bar. But then I think you got to, okay, you spend it, you did whatever, that's fine. But little by little, you felt like you started learning more of your limits as time went, or you were still like...
No, bro. It took me a long time, bro. Like, to be honest, my mind opened up like... Oh, actually, it was when... And it's sad, bro. I feel really bad about it, but it opened up after I had my second kid.
Okay.
When I had my second kid, I realized that everything that I was doing was bad. Like it wasn't helping me out. It was just fun things that I did so I could be happy at the moment, and I wasn't thinking of like the long run, because all that money could have been saved up and it could go to my kids, so they can go to college, so they can have a car, so they can, so I can help them out a little bit. So now I realized, and I'm telling you, I feel bad because it didn't pop into my head until the second one. So the first one, when I had my first kid, that I love her so much, I feel like I was still really childish, bro.
How old is your first kid?
My first kid right now is 8.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was, like 21, 22 when I had her.
¿Estás chavillo?
Estaba chavillo. Me casé también en ese tiempo.
Yeah.
Te digo, estaba haciendo esto, o sea, decisión tras decisión. No, it was not the good ones, bro. And sometimes I'm like, damn, I blame my mom for not teaching.
No, but like if you look at it like, say, like, do you have a father figure in all this time?
No, bro, no tampoco, güey. Mi papá no sé quién es, no sé cómo se mira.
No.
Tampoco nunca lo conocí. Nunca sentí que lo necesitaba, la verdad. Mi mamá sí, a pesar de las cositas que a veces reclamo, siento que hizo un muy buen trabajo, güey, para lo que tenía. Ahorita ya como adulto, ya mirando lo que ella tenía que pagar, 3 hijos, la escuela, la ropa, o sea, es mucho.
Yeah.
Ahora le entiendo por qué ella trabajaba tanto y por qué casi no la mirábamos. So, ahora sí lo entiendo mucho más. Me tardó bastante yo en entender esas cosas, dude.
And you're 20...
I'm 29 right now, about to be 30,
I'm about
yeah.
to be 30.
¿Tú cumpliste años apenas?
Ya, güey, es el 6.
¿Cuántos cumpliste?
38.
Feliz cumpleaños, güey.
Gracias, güey. I'm still trying to, I don't know, I feel like, I'm a responsible guy, don't get me wrong. I've done everything I could, but I feel like there's still something in me that, like, you know what? Like, I want to enjoy as much as I can, like, without kids. And then, but I mean, like, say, like, I have a okay job, and then, I mean, I have a career, todo. But I mean, that came with a lot of, like, a lot of burnings in my back. But that's another story. Pero acerca de ti, so, like, during this time where you were growing up, not having your dad around, your mom was working, what is, like, how did you start figuring some stuff out, even though you didn't get anything right? You think you didn't get anything right till your second kid? Because for me, it could be it's a process at the end of the day.
Sí.
When do you first realize, like, okay, I need to change this one thing that I feel like I'm doing, not the best right now?
I started evaluating myself, bro. Like, I started, like, thinking about the things that I did, and I realized that actually I started thinking about what I believed, because I feel like at the beginning it was mostly because of the beliefs that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I felt like praying for work was not helping me.
Okay.
I had to go find it. So I feel like most of the things that I used to do because I believed that, good was going to come to me because I was, like, a good person. And then, like, I was like, no, así nos trabaja el mundo. Like,
Yeah.
like, so I started, like, questioning a lot of the stuff que yo mismo pensaba que sabía, which at the end I ended up finding out that I didn't know most of the things that I believed. Like, I didn't know for sure if I was, good to think that way.
Okay.
So I started questioning a lot of the stuff that I was doing. Y eso fue cuando I realized that I wasn't doing good. I was like, going out every 3 days, getting drunk and going hungover to work. Like, that's just not good. Like, I started imagining myself doing those things, and I was like, that does not look good, bro. Like, as a, yo también, and I started working constructions, and I wanted to do something with that. So I was like, that's not a good way to show this person that, like, I'm reliable and that, I'll get the job done. So I started changing those
and construction is a pretty tough, I think of it as a very tough, line of work. Porque estás afuera, you have to put stuff together, you're sweating it, y llegas de la casa y terminas cansado. Pero, I mean, you kept grinding as you went.
Yeah.
So that's, you have to give yourself prop. Yeah, you probably weren't doing, the best decisions in life. Pero you weren't also, I'm assuming you weren't also, like, asking people for anything, because you had to learn how to depend on yourself.
Y eso es algo que I think about it, and I'm like, maybe that's the skill that I have, because I feel like I was always alone, bro. Like, I didn't have my dad, and then I moved out young. Like, I went through all these things. Mi mamá se vino para acá primero, güey. I lived with my grandma over there actually for 5 years, I think. So, like, throughout being a kid, I didn't see my mom much because she was over here. She was sending money over there. So I feel like I've always been, like, kind of like a person that stays by themselves. So de ahí empecé a darme cuenta que la verdad no necesitas a nadie, güey. And I've said it before, I don't talk to family much because I feel like the more people you are involved with, the harder your life gets. Like, just by knowing somebody and you know that they're going through some stuff, you're going to feel bad.
You know what? That's just the one thing, like, I can see your point of view in that. And then, like, for me, I'm surrounded by a lot of people, but I like to just keep my, my limit, my boundaries. Porque we all have stuff, right? Pero yo no me gusta juntarme con la gente que siempre anda sufriendo. Like, that's the one thing, like, say, I like to, I like to hang out, and I don't want to, like, put them, make them seem wrong, or, what they're doing is bad. But I just don't like being surrounded by people that are always just, estoy pasándome la mal, o siempre pasa eso, lo otro, aquello. And I'm more of a, cuéntame una cosa chida, porque de lo malo que hay, por lo menos una cosa chida te puede pasar. Ya fuiste a comprarte el mejor taco del mundo, fuiste a, no sé, a hacer la mejor salsa, lo que sea, pero cuando estás te juntas con gente que todo el tiempo se la pasa sufrida, esa madre sí, poco a poco te come.
Y te cansa.
Y te
cansa.
cansa.
Que te cansa. A mí tampoco nunca me ha gustado. Pero yo lo digo más como del punto donde... es que la gente, como hace rato que estábamos hablando, que la gente empieza a encontrar conflictos. Siempre que tengas un ¿cómo se dice? Un bond, no un bond, pero que tengas que te juntes hasta con un amigo, bro. Like, puede pasar que va a haber cosas donde no van a agree, va a haber una pelea, va a haber una discusión, un momento incómodo.
Yeah.
Y yo prefiero evitar eso cortando un poquito los círculos, ¿verdad? Digo, pues este es un amigo que conozco, o este es una persona que trabaja conmigo, pero muy, muy cercano a mí, pues te digo, yo le digo mucho a mi esposa, tú eres la que tiene el poder, ¿verdad? Mi esposa es la que tiene ella es la única persona que me podría hacer que yo me ponga a llorar, o que sienta por lo menos cosas, ¿verdad? Otra gente, digo, me dejan de hablar, digo, no manches, no voy a llorar.
Yeah, one thing that I heard, and then goes a little bit with, como dices tú, de que prefieres mejor estar acá, no juntarte con mucha gente, is, I think you were talking to your wife about, when your kids go to, I don't know if it was like a kids museum or a play park.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that whenever your kid is playing with another kid, como que no, vais para allá. And then and your wife is the opposite. She wants to welcome the kids to go play with your daughter. But that comes with like you being protective to like, no quiero que se pasen de lanza.
No, y además luego los papás de ellos quieren hablarte, güey. No, like, estamos aquí con los niños, we don't have to talk, bro.
Yeah.
Yo estoy con mis lentes que son like, ojalá nadie porque te miran primero, and I see them with my glasses are black, so like I look away and I'm like, oh, no los estoy mirando.
Yeah, what is your name? And we're like,
De vez en cuando sí hago conversaciones. Yo puedo hablar, güey. Like, I'm not shy, but hay veces que I'm just like, I'm here with my kid. Like, I don't
you just wanna, I feel you. No, but it's funny because having a podcast, you have to talk.
Sí. And that's one of the reasons why I started it too. I was like, I need to get out of this zone that I'm in, because I felt like I was me estaba alienando, güey. And then I started listening to a bunch of other podcasts. Escucho varios de Roberto Martínez y Diego Rosarín. Son como unos vatos que no según, pero estudian y leen mucho y saben muchas cosas chidas. Y uno de ellos decía, y tenía mucho sentido para mí, que la mejor manera de hacerte tú una mejor persona es platicando con todos, güey. Aunque te caigan o no te caigan mal, tú tratas de platicar con alguien porque al final tienes que tratar de entender cómo están mirando las cosas ellos para que tú hagas una mejor versión de ti mismo. Y eso me gustó mucho. Sí, tengo que hablar con otra gente, tengo que salirme de mi círculo y cuando yo quiero, ¿verdad?
Cuando quieras.
Sí. y hablar con gente y a platicar de cosas.
Hay dos que tendremos en el podcast en el futuro, que son Diego Rosarín y Roberto Martínez.
Muy, muy buenos los vatos hablando, la neta.
Güey, bueno, Roberto es un güey que casi igualito que tú, que no le gusta hablar con mucha gente en público o tal vez como, no sé, dice que cuando son más de 4 personas como que no es para él. Sí, pero ya cuando habla por sí con una persona, le ayuda bastante. Y es lo chido porque cuando es un podcast, güey, o sea, luego de la nada puede ser una conversación chida, and I think that's the goal. That should always be the goal. I think the podcast should be informative, entertaining, pero también at the end of the day, siempre tiene que dejarte con un buen sabor de boca.
Okay. ¿No te gustan los de terror, los de crimen?
Bueno, cuando son pláticas. Cuando son pláticas,
sí.
Because I think like podcasts now, they're probably starting to get more genres.
Sí, ahorita ya hay de todo, güey.
Ya hay de todo, yeah. Sí. So I like say, las que me gustan son los de pláticas, de los procesos, de cómo se la están pasando y cómo están haciendo algo chido. Pero hablando del podcast, déjame tomar un break, puedo prender el aire y ahorita regresamos. Y a ver si agarramos otra cheve más.
Sí, porque
we want to get a quick break and I drink the TNT I'll share the recipe on the episode description. ¿Qué tal está?
Está buenísimo, güey.
Sí.
Me agarraste aquí queriendo tomar un poquito más.
Es lo que hacemos en Otra, por favor. Por eso se llama Otra, por favor. So, going back to the podcast. So, dijiste, no me gusta hablar con gente. I like, I want to break that shell and talk to, more people, have more conversations. Before we go into like more of the content, I want to learn a little more of your workflow. How do you put, an episode together? Like, what do you do? Because I know you have several guests similar to mine. Where do do you come up with what you're going to talk about before you have the guest or when the guest is already there?
No, güey, ahí.
Or just free flow?
Así, sí.
Okay.
Llegan ahí y lo único que yo hago es que hago un poquito de research de la persona con la que voy a hablar, solo para saber un poquito de ellos, ¿verdad? No nada más saber de ellos, pero de dónde agarrarme, de qué hablar, por si no tengo o una respuesta o por si no sé de qué hablar todavía, pero usualmente así las hago, nada más empiezo. Es que el formato que a mí me gusta mucho que hace Roberto Martínez, que es una plática.
Yeah.
Y es lo que yo siempre quise como, emphasize, porque no quería que fuera algo ya prescrito, siguiendo un guión. No sé, yo dije, quiero que sea una plática y quiero que estas personas se den cuenta que yo soy una persona genuina, que nada más quiero platicar. La neta, no quiero ganar nada de esto más que una buena plática con una persona chida.
Güey, que tal vez es es tu, ¿cómo se llama? Es tu tono y tu estilo. Y ese creo que nunca lo cambies. Porque, I like a little, not a structure, but I like to have some kind of guidance just in case I get lost or, you don't know what you're going to talk about. That, thank God, hasn't really happened. But at the end of the day, like you said, it's just about, having a conversation. And talking about, the person, what they're doing, but free flowing it could go both ways because some people want to have, let me see a list of your questions or, your notes.
That happened to me.
Yeah.
And I've actually lost, some people that wanted that and I actually didn't want to, bro. I was like, no, this is my podcast.
That's good, man.
But I understand it. I get it.
Yeah.
I for sure get it. And actually structure, bro, es algo que I do need. I know that I need because now that you're talking about like how I do it, and recently I just had a podcast with this guy, se llama OtraXFavor, the second, bro. He does music. And I was telling him that it was getting really hard for me, bro. It's getting really hard. So he was telling me like, es que you're doing everything all at once, and it's because I don't have structure, bro. Like, I record the episodes. I get the guest, I record the episodes, and then I listen to the episode because I have to listen to them and make like a little list of the things that we kind of talked about. Yeah. Just for the description. And I listen to that while I'm driving to work or like sometimes while I'm at work. Yeah. So I was telling Xavier, I was like, bro, like I'm getting really tired. And he was like, dude, es que no te están dando sus breaks. Like you're doing it all the time. Yeah. So I was like, I do need structure. And he ended up, he gave me an idea that he does where he's like, dude, just pick a day out of the week and that day just focus on the podcast stuff. And that way, los otros 6 días ya no tienes que estar pensando en el podcast. You just do it on one day. And I started doing that, bro, and that helped a lot. It helped a lot. Yeah, because structure is something that I do need, bro. Like, I know, like, a veces I'm like, damn, I'm doing this. Like, it's not that hard, but, I feel like I'm just lucky.
Nah, man, but I think even like it seems very organized. I mean, I'm seeing it from what I see. Like I would say, it's when you're doing something, maybe people won't realize it, but I'm pretty sure anybody that listens to it, they would be like, man, I mean, it's great because it's a conversation. And a conversation can go many ways. Yeah. Now, whenever there's someone that, like maybe they have a brand they're representing or they're representing their own brand, they want a little more, like, hey, give me like a B, and C. But free-flowing it, like, that's the hard part because sometimes... the last thing you don't want is for people to think you're gonna catch them off guard, and you don't. Like you just want to have a conversation about anything.
No, bro. And I started, I'm not going to say studying, right? But like I kind of started like doing research about how to talk to people.
Okay.
And it's a whole thing, bro. It's super interesting. And it's a little bit, siento que a veces es como manipulador en un tipo de manera, porque como que tú haces que la gente solita como que se sienta segura enough to tell you something. And I've done it. And I'm like, you know, people are like, how are you going to get them to talk about this? And I'm like, oh, like, so this is what you do. You first you give like a little something of yourself that has to do with that topic. So they feel like, you know, like, and it's true. You know, what I tell them is it's something from me. So that makes them kind of like feel like they're safe and they kind of open up. And I'm like, that's cool. That's cool to me. That's why I like to learn, like, you know, how to de-escalate things or like escalate them if I have to. Porque I was telling you that I watch a lot of anime and there's this anime, se llama Attack on Titan. I would recommend it to everybody. Watch that. There's this un commander and he is really good, bro, at making people do things just by speeches.
Okay.
And everybody has a speech that they've heard and it makes them feel something. Speeches, a veces, güey, haces unas speeches la gente, and it can make you, like, you know, be super proud of the country that you're from, or like be, give your life, because that's what this guy does. This guy, he gives a really good speech, and if I was a soldier, I would have given my life too. Yeah. And he, you know, he's telling people, let's just go die, let's just, you know, fuck it. And that was really interesting to me. So I started doing research about how to talk to people, and it's a skill. Talking to people and making them open up or say something that you want them to say is a skill. So I started doing some of that research so I could do that.
So what, like, have you found, like, in the you know, like saying like speech, have you found like someone you in particular you feel like, man, this guy right here, or this, you know, girl, or I mean whatever, como que te motiva?
No, la verdad no, güey. Siento que antes sí era más como de tener role models. Pero empecé a darme cuenta, y haciendo esto, la verdad me empecé dando cuenta que todos tenemos defectos y a mí no me gusta tomar decisiones siguiendo el camino de alguien que no está bien, ¿sí me entiendes? A mí me gusta mucho también el artista Drake, y hay una lyric donde dice el vato que conocer a tus admiradores, que diga, a la gente que admiras es como saber el truco que está haciendo el mago. You know, like you realize that people are, you know, like your mentors are humans and we all fuck up. I try to learn from them, pero así que look up to people, antes sí me consideraba fan de personas o de cosas, pero ahorita ya no, güey, yo siento que ya todos estamos iguales. Le digo a mi esposa, todos cagamos, todos nos apesta cuando echamos un pedo. Like,
that's actually true. That's actually very true. No, la razón por la que te pregunto, porque muchas veces cuando uno hace algo, y en especial cuando uno crece sin la figura de un padre, you know, you hold on to like a figure. You know, it could be a sports person, it could be a celebrity, it could just be like, you know, a guy that maybe, you know, he was cool with you when you were young, y te decía, no, pues sabes qué, haz esto, lo otro, aquello. Like for me, I have a pretty good relationship with my dad, and, you know, I love him to death. But there's also like, say, when he came in this tough times, donde digas, sabes qué, like, you know, you're in Mexico City and you're coming back from California, and you're trying to figure out how to live in your own, you know, country. I was there for a year, and there was this one dude named Irving, and that dude was, you know, he pretty much out of nowhere, dude, he started just showing me the ropes of like, hey, this is how life is in Mexico City. This is the, you know, the stuff that goes on.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, over time, I started like realizing and thinking, like, you know, like, say, for example, like it's he wasn't perfect, you know, he wasn't the dude that que sentía la verga. It was just a dude that was like, you know, like not even under his wing, but it was more like, let me just show you a little bit. And then over time, whenever you know, you were living life, you're like, okay, now I know this. Now I have more awareness of this. Now I know how to do this, or you know what, how to act in this place or whatnot. Especially porque allá en el DF roban.
Sí, sí,
So,
sí, sí.
tienes que estar al tiro.
No, güey, yo la verdad no, que me acuerde nadie, güey. Toda la
No.
gente que... Y hasta la gente adulta con la que me juntaba antes, no, yo me acuerdo que sus vidas, no. Miraba sus vidas y estaban peor que yo. Y te digo, yo era un morro que estaba haciendo
Yeah,
buen dinero, o miraba gente más adulta que yo con la que me juntaba y dije, no, ninguno de estos vatos puede ser mi role model,
Dicen que se la
no.
verga todos.
Ey, no, pero eran, tampoco no es de que yo
Yeah,
juzgaba, ¿verdad? Porque gente es gente chida, güey, gente bien
yeah.
humilde, pero hay algo que no les cliquea, güey, o no sé por qué no quieren salirse de trabajo. Conocí a vatos, güey, que llevo 16 años trabajando para McDonald's. No manches, güey, come on, bro.
Yes,
Like,
yeah,
como,
yeah.
like, o tal vez están cómodos, ¿verdad? Tampoco,
Mhm.
nunca llegué a preguntarles. Tal vez yo también estoy juzgando y ahora sí, diciendo que no manches, pero tal vez ellos están felices con ese trabajo, ¿verdad?
Yeah, no, I don't think you're judging, güey, porque at the end of the day, like, ya cuando encuentras algo chido, es como que, güey, o sea, there's only enough, not even, I guess, the advice or whatever, but there's only enough people can tell you whenever they're, they're still in the same place, which is fine. But it's como que you learn, like, say, as you get older, you learn to, you know what, I need to be in a place where, I need to surround myself with people that do something different.
Sí, 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 sí. No, te digo que ya apenas.
Yeah.
Apenas, sí. Sí tenía mi grupo de amigos que yo decía, wow, los amigos. Tengo amigos que se graduaron y ahorita ya están haciendo buen dinero porque tienen su diploma y digo, damn, me hubiera juntado con ellos mejor
Yeah.
en vez de estar acá con los marihuanos. ¿Verdad? Que me divertí bastante, la neta, y ahorita estoy aquí donde estoy la neta, por juntarme con ese tipo de personas, bro. Ese tipo de personas me enseñó bastante, me divertí bastante y de ahí dije, esa vida no está chida. La verdad, todos mis amigos saben que esa vida que vivimos, no, o sea, estaba divertida, pero no fue la más segura, no fue la más saludable.
Mm-hmm.
Estábamos haciendo pendejadas, la neta.
Y cómo, por decir, cuando hablas tú, porque hablas mucho de como que te sientes relajado cuando hablas y platicas con la gente en tu podcast, y eso ayuda mucho sí, sabes que la cagaste en el pasado, pero como que, you're okay with it.
Sí, sí.
You're okay with that. You're
Es
not like, oh man, like, like, I'm pretty sure over time you want to do more in life, and that's natural, but you're okay with, like, everything you went through.
No, yeah, and one of the reasons why I started, like, I feel like I've never it's never affected me as much is because at the end of the day, te digo, yo pienso le digo a mi girl, because we be arguing, bro. We're a couple, and I tell her, dude,
Couples argue.
yeah, couples argue, bro. Yeah, and I tell her that before I start an argument, I think about the argument, bro. Like I picture myself having the argument and giving the arguments, like saying them.
Okay.
And after hearing myself saying something a veces in my head, I'm like, that's ridiculous. So like,
Okay.
no, I don't bring it up. Like, I just rather, like, si lo pienso and I'm like, le voy a decir algo. Hay que decir un ejemplo porque le digo, es como si hay vatos, güey, que sí les da celos que sus esposas vayan al gimnasio.
Mm-hmm.
O que, no sé, que se pongan las cosas que las chavas se ponen para ir al gimnasio.
Que se
¿verdad?
pongan chidas.
Sí. And I'm like, dude, like, yo no te daría un argument for that. Like, I wouldn't. Like, it sounds, para mí se escucha ridículo, la verdad. I trust you, so, like, I know that you just want to look good, I guess. Because who doesn't want to look good?
We all want to look good.
Yeah. So, te digo, siempre que pienso todas estas cosas, it helps me a lot that I think to myself, like, hey, is this good? Like, should I go for it? Y al último, even if I fuck up, I'm always like, pues ya la cagué, pues ya qué chingada. Ahora lo único que queda, la neta, siempre que la cagues, lo único que queda, ¿qué? Es ir para adelante.
Yeah.
Es ir para adelante, bro. Like, I fucked up so many times, but, like, it's always like, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop working. I'm not gonna stop, living.
Yeah.
And life, bro, life is weird to me right now, to be honest. I'm about to be 30, and it's like, damn, qué raro está. No, I haven't figured much out.
Dude.
A los 38, tú, how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about life? Man, I feel good, man. I mean, there's one thing that I'm like, it's out of my hand. It's just the immigration part.
Oh, okay.
That's just the one part that I'm like, if it was up to me, that problem could be solved.
Y yo no digo nada más eso, bro. Empecé a dudar mucho, no nada más sobre mis beliefs, pero de dónde soy.
Mm-hmm.
No sé si I've had a few talks with a few people where I'm like, dude, I don't feel even proud to be Mexican, or like I wouldn't even say that I feel proud to be from here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
No sé, a veces siento que muchas de estas cosas que I should be proud of I discard them because I'm like, no, eso no me va a ayudar en nada. Así como te estaba diciendo hace rato, el rezar por un trabajo no te va a ayudar nada. tienes que pararte. So, a veces, ahorita que tú hablas todo de esto de immigration and stuff, a veces yo, like, porque también tengo problemas de eso, pero ni pienso en eso, bro. No, like, no sé, siento que eso no vale la pena pensar porque tengo que seguirle. No sé, I mean, tú estás arreglando ahorita, ¿verdad? Lo que...
Nah, dude, we're you know, I'm just in DACA right now, but I'm more so, I think maybe this past couple of months, I really haven't really talked much about it in person, like, in a podcast, in person with some friends, yeah. But it's just like, I'm like, dude, I've already been here for 23 years. And I've done everything possible, like everything. And I tell, like, you know, people, like, I've done everything that, you know, like, you could say, like, an American has done.
Yeah, tu vida ha estado aquí.
Tu vida está aquí. And then, like, say for you know, for the country to not help you, but not give you the opportunity to, you know, okay, this guy right here has earned it. Like, say, and through merit, you know, then from that, it's like, okay, we don't see anything, you know, anytime soon. So that's the one I'm like, and now as I'm getting older, I mean, I think that's the one that's like been like kicking my ass the most, is the fact that I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like, we're over here hustling, we're over here doing everything possible. Y esas güeyes le está valiendo madre. But I've learned to understand that, like, it's not on my hands. You know what?
No, yeah, bro.
I tell myself, you did everything you could, and then whatever happens, whether you stay here or you go somewhere in the future, you know, you're gonna contribute, because now, looking at it, I mean, this, you know, 23 years, 20, you know, soon 24 in the future, in the country, they have given me tools to where I know I can make it anywhere now.
Sí.
So, like, say, I grab onto the Empire State of Mind, the song from Jay-Z and Alicia Keys.
Sí.
It talks about New York. Yeah. And then, you know, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I feel like, you know, Austin is, you know, not New York, of course, but I feel like...
Allá en México pegaríamos mejor, güey.
Güey.
A huevo. Yo pienso que sí. Yo voy a la casa del Roberto Martínez. Hey.
I feel like, and I was thinking about that too. Like, say, if I go back to Mexico, dude, I'm not just going to come empty-handed. I'm going to bring, like, a shit ton of tools that I can do to contribute to the cost. Because at the end of the day, whatever I want to go is, I want to contribute. Like, I don't want to be, you know, living off, munching off the government or you know, taking advantage of, you know, the system. Like, nah, I hate doing that.
Eres buena persona, güey, porque yo soy el que sí. Yo digo, fuck the system, take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, si puedes, tengo amigos que dicen, güey, you know, también están aquí en DACA, and they're like, dude, voy a sacar un préstamo del banco.
I heard
me voy para México y a ver quién les paga. Porque pues es que el sistema también te chinga, güey. El sistema chinga a los pobres. Está bien gacho con esto de las taxas que, you know, entre más dinero hagas, si eres de bajos recursos, güey, te taxean más. Eso está bien gacho.
Yeah. Nah, that part a mí también me ha cagado.
Los ricos, no, hombre, esos güeyes no les dan nada, güey. Esos güeyes no pagan nada. Yo pago un chingo, bro. Yo pago mucho, güey. And I'm like, dude, I shouldn't. Pero, you know, ya estoy tratando de ser un adulto responsable. So, mi esposa también me dice, hey, tienes que arreglar estas cosas. Y su papá de mi esposa, él se metió en un gran problema con el IRS, güey.
Sí, todos.
Sí, güey. Y me empezó a contar su historia y dije, no, yo no quiero. No quiero eso mejor, so ya empecé a pagarle el IRS, ya para que estemos en paz.
Hey, you know what? El tío Sam, ese es el respeto. Hey, actually, the only agency that can bring down the mafia is the IRS. That's the only one that, I think that's the one that brought down Al Capone.
A cobrarle, sí.
Ningún mafioso, güey. Fue la sífilis y las taxas.
Eso está bien loco, güey.
But no, dude, I think at the end of the day, dude, for me is, I mean, you do everything possible in life. You gotta go and you gotta hustle. You gotta, you know, put in the work. There's some stuff that they're gonna be out of your hand, and you just have to be okay with that.
Lo mío, güey, con el problema que ahorita estuve teniendo mucho y que he estado teniendo bastante, que en mi cabeza no, siempre llevo a lo mismo, es que no siento que estoy hecho, güey. Yo pienso que todos nos hemos sentido de la manera de que estamos trabajando y tú te pones a pensar, ¿a poco esto es mi vida? Trabajar, la neta, 8 o 9 horas al día por 5 días. ¿A poco esto es la vida? Yo, eso no me gusta. Yo me quejo con mis amigos todo el tiempo y les digo, eso no está bien, güey. ¿Por qué me hacen trabajar tanto? Yo la verdad, sí me gustaría dedicarme más a hacer esto que me gusta, que es tener pláticas con gente. Ahorita, la neta, me voy a tener que tomar un break porque siento que es bastante, güey.
Yeah.
Es bastante. El estar pensando todas estas cosas de que esto no me está trayendo nada más estoy gastando tiempo. Porque pues está chido. A ver, al principio me sentía bien por los likes, güey, por los listens. Eso como que te da un poquito de push a que sigas, pero después de un rato pues ya el número se me hizo como que algo nada y yo decía tengo que estar haciendo dinero ya de esto porque si no estoy gastando mucho tiempo que podría estar trabajando, ganando dinero, güey, ¿verdad? Podría ganar dinero para seguir ahorita ya esperando otro niño también, tengo que estar pensando en todas estas cosas, güey. So, se pone difícil, te digo, ahorita la vida está medio rara, a mis 30s, pero siempre ha estado rara, siempre he estado así.
Wait, creo que you're going to figure it out. I mean, you figured out life without, a father figure. And you're doing good.
Siento que todo fue luck, bro. La neta. Yo, hay mucha gente, le pregunto a varios artistas, like, how much of what you're doing you think it's luck, bro?
Yeah.
Like, I was lucky that lady con la que me pasé me cuidó. I was lucky. There's a lot of instances where I'm like, I'm a really lucky person. Like, the job that I found, it was by luck, bro. Like, by luck. La neta, me corrieron de un trabajo, me metí el otro. Y loquísimo. So I've been working with this person for like 13, 14 years, bro. The way that I got this job was because one of my friends that passed away he put in a word for me so I could get into this company that I'm working right now, which is the one that gives me all the work and it pays my bills.
Yeah.
So ese amigo se murió, and I was like, dude, está bien loco porque they fired him when they hired me. So like, yo tomé su spot y me siento como bien lucky que
you took his job.
Sí, que and I'm like, oh my God, like este trabajo la verdad está muy bueno. Aprendí bastantes cosas y I feel like I'm just a lucky person, bro.
Dude, I think I would say this, dude. Good stuff comes to good people, and you're a good dude.
I try to be.
And like, say for example, and I'm not saying it because you're here. I mean, but you just by listening. I mean, it's like the second, third time we meet in person, but I mean, you're a good dude. Like, you listen to your stuff. It's like I think luck can do, has something to do with it, but maybe that's your life. Maybe you know what, you're meant to be lucky. Like, you're meant to. Like, say you look at your life now, like, yeah, you wish you can do more, but that's gonna come with with over time.
Yeah.
But look at look where you're at. Like, look where you have, and then who knows? Like, maybe through that luck, eventually you're gonna hit this sweet spot in your platform.
Hopefully.
I mean, and a lot of it can also be like you said, tienes que ir y fregarle and go find.
Bro.
Ask questions, get access, knock and, fill out applications, this and that. And that's fine. That's part of the process. But luck, sometimes this is all you need. And then, but also it's making your own luck. Like, say, it's not the luck you got, but it's what you did afterwards that matters.
You are right. Yeah, no, yeah. Es que a veces también me pongo a pensar, like, if somebody was to live my life next to me, making every decision that I made, I know that their life wouldn't be the same as mine, because everybody has their own stuff and how they see things. So that's why I'm telling you, like, I feel like luck has a lot to do. Mi mamá dice que es Dios. No,
Diosito.
Es Diosito.
Allá arribita, donde quieras que estés.
Siempre yo digo, a veces me pongo a decir que le estaba diciendo a mi girl, es que hay gente que es creyente que de repente tiene dudas. Yo soy alguien que no es creyente, que de repente creo. Y eso se me hace chido. I'm like, yo no creo, pero de repente I'm like, tal vez sí haya un Dios que me está mirando.
Sí, chido.
Y sí, que me voy a ir a comprar un boleto de la lotería, güey. Yo siento que
you never know, bro.
Ese es mi sueño de ser millonario, la neta.
Sí.
No sé si tú tengas un sueño de tener dinero. Tengo muchos amigos y les platico, y tengo amigos que su sueño es volverse raperos y hacerse famosos.
Sí.
El mío es ganarme la lotería y ya tengo todo planeado.
Ya tengo los números y todo, ya lo pensaste.
No, los números no, güey, pero ya tengo la vida planeada, ya sé exactamente qué voy a hacer, qué pasos voy a tomar. I daydream a lot. I daydream way too much.
No, I think if they give me $1 million right now, I'm gonna do 30% to my wife.
Nice.
30% to my family. I keep, 20% for myself, 5% to invest, and then the rest. No. It's the 20% to invest, 5% to myself to buy whatever I want, and then 5% to like, a charity that allows like creatives to do some type of like good stuff.
Damn, yo soy bien selfish. Yo estaba pensando en unos carritos, una casa. I don't know. Unos viajes,
Unos viajes.
Sí,
well, I mean, I might have a, or like, hey, that's, I think the 20% that I keep should be enough to keep me happy for a while. But I'm gonna continue to hustle. So
la residencia aquí cuesta $1 million.
Yeah, actually.
So, ¿te la compras?
No, de una change of plans, never mind. Change of plans.
No. Eso hasta con dinero. Ni ellos mismos, nada más con que les suelte suficiente dinero aquí también, son bien greedy.
Hey man, you're in a capitalist country.
But I love it. I don't know how other way it would be, bro.
We love to hate it and we hate to love it.
Yep, yeah, no, a mí la neta me gusta mucho la sociedad.
Yeah.
I complain about it like a little bit sometimes porque hay muchos grupos que sí están medio tontos. Siento que hay gente que sí no la ha captado, güey.
Yeah.
Que hay muchas cosas que sí son falsas o cosas así. O cosas que sí te están metiendo. Social media, bro.
Yeah.
A mí me gusta mucho tocar el tema de social media because I feel like social media just feeds you the same thing. Like, you think you are believing something because you see it a lot, but social media just pushing it on you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, I agree.
And people don't realize that, bro. I'm like, dude, hay una chava, yo me pongo a veces a argue with people, y hay una chava que decía que en su timeline aparecían mucho vato commenting on girls in bikinis, and I was like, dude, it's because that's all your attention is going to that type of content. Social media is going to push more of that. And she's like, oh, todo lo que miro son puros vatos. And I'm like, pues es que esto es lo que estás viendo. Like, how do you not realize that? Like, there's a lot of good guys out there. Ahorita todo este movimiento de que los vatos ya no valen verga. Y también los vatos ya que las viejas tampoco. And I'm like,
los entertains. Yeah.
Oh, bro. Yes. And I'm like, how do you guys not realize it? Like,
I think a normal person would know how to discern that, yes, there's good women, there's bad women. There's good guys, there's bad guys. I mean, they know the balance of, from one, makes the other. Pero at the end of the day, it's just like, I think for me, social media is un mercado solamente.
Sí.
But that really doesn't represent anything real unless you really want to look for it.
Even this, bro, I feel like even the podcast sometimes I'm like, why am I recording it? Like, if I really want to talk, if I really want to learn from this, I should have just made, like talk to them without the mics. Because I feel like I by posting it on social media, I'm losing myself to something that I didn't want. ¿Sí me entiendes?
Yeah.
No sé si me entiendes. A veces, like, también con las cosas que they're trendy. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to do some trendy stuff. I want to talk about something that's trendy. But I'm like, no, that's not me. Like, I don't really want, like, I'm just doing that for the attention and for this to blow up. But, like, I would want for it to blow up because I'm having a conversation with somebody that's chill, Like, I wouldn't want no Andrew Tate on my podcast, talking about women and no, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, y también lo que buscas encuentras, If you're looking for cool shit to happen, cool shit is going to happen, even with struggles. I mean, look at the guests that you've had. Y cuántos, como después de un episodio, ¿cómo te sientes al final de la plática? Do you feel like you learned something?
Sí.
Yeah, maybe it could have been off mic, but you're giving information to some people. And it's for entertainment, it's for you to know, for you to open up and talk more. But look at what everyone that is listening to your platform, look at what they're getting. And I think, at the end of the day, like that should be like, your goal would just be to just have the conversation, have fun, and then everything would just come through. Of course, it comes of, a lot of, work behind it, pero ya cuando sale la conversación chida, and it's like for me, and that's one thing I started looking at. I started thinking like, okay, how do I want this? How do I want to approach this? I want to be, I don't want to be super famous, but I want to be known. Mm-hmm. I want to be a dude that que conoce, if I'm in wherever I'm at in the world, that I have the podcast and people are touring. They're like, hey, man, you want to, go to Richie's podcast and have the conversation. It can be a fucking big artist. It can just be a baker down the street that's, haciendo unos bolillos.
Sí.
Like that type of stuff that I want to do. And then through that, sometimes you're going to have, episodes that are, this amount of listens, and then sometimes it's not going to go the way you wanted it, but it's just what you got out of the conversation. And then just the networking, like the access.
The connect,
the connection, everything. Because for me, I've gotten, I feel like I've connected a lot more this past couple of years. I mean, I've always liked to connect, but I feel like now with the platform, I've been able to connect with people that I never thought I would connect with.
Really? Bro, that's interesting.
And then like the people that I'm hoping to connect with, it's kind of, okay, I already know like how to do this. I can do it again. Like,
Yo también, no. One of the things that I still do is so whenever I want to invite somebody that's a little big, because I feel like I've had some people that are like are actually doing some pretty cool stuff, bro. Like, siento que invité a un chavo que se llama damn it, se me olvidó su nombre, güey. Fuck. Perdón al vato. Él toca banda, güey. Okay. Hace corridos, es autoautor, sí. No sé si digo así, la verdad. Y cantautor. Cantautor. Y el güey hace cosas bien padres, bro. Escribe canciones. Estaba diciendo que él había escrito unas canciones a los del Rancho Humilde, que son unos vatos que los que yo escucho bastante. Y dije, dude, qué padre que estas personas vengan aquí y comparten algo de ellos. Y la manera en que hago esto es que me voy e invito hay que decir, un amigo de él cercano. Lo invito primero para que él mire a su amigo en la plática y ya como que sepa un poquito de mí, ¿verdad? So trato de primero reach out to somebody that's not the main person, porque a veces siento que la gente sí, he tenido también gente que invito que hasta me quieren cobrar. Y no me quieren cobrar por ir a la plática. And I understand that.
Feel like que les vaya bien.
Sí, no, y la neta yo he querido pagarles. Yo a 2 personas, a mí me interesa mucho, la neta, la gente que hace música, bro. La gente que hace música se me hace súper interesante. Y especialmente las mujeres. Ahorita he estado queriendo invitar a unas raperas, porque hay raperas, ya hay muchas raperas aquí en Austin. Y las sigo en sus redes sociales y yo tengo muchas preguntas. Porque digo, ¿cuál es su reach para los fans que tienen? Is it the rap, the lyrics, the art that you guys are doing? Or is it the bikini pictures and you guys just shaking ass in a video? Like, me confunde a veces and I'm like, quiero preguntarles cómo lo hacen ellas, pues especialmente las mujeres, porque hay gente hay chavos que también hacen como streams and stuff and they're like in bikinis and they're playing games, and I'm like, pero ¿cuál es, a dónde está haciendo? ¿Está haciendo a los games o está haciendo, o a los dos, verdad? Porque es el mercado, pero para mí se me hace confuso, especialmente con la gente que hace música, las chavas, y digo, are you being true to the art of making music, or is it just like
that's a good question right there?
Sí, bro.
No, but I think for me, I wouldn't pay anyone if I know I got someone bigger here and someone's trying to charge me to come. I'm like, nah, like, because then you're taking away from the conversation. It's a conversation. I would. Te puedo comprar la comida, te puedo comprar.
Echar las drinks.
Yeah, we the drinks. Or even like say we're traveling from San Antonio to here, I'll pay for your gas. That's fine. Pero que me digas que me vas a cobrar para venir a hacer una plática, no, bro.
Sí, no,
you're like, for me is.
Qué chido por ellos, ¿eh? Chido por ellos.
Si no me va a cobrar JC en el futuro, no creo que Leo John XXX me quiera cobrar para venir para acá.
No, pero la neta, la chava que me quería cobrar sí tiene música buena.
Yeah.
Y sí tiene un buen... Porque ella me dijo en el mensaje, she was like, I know that I can make your podcast grow on views just by having me there. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of like... and it goes back to, is it, for me, my response would be like, dude, I'm not looking to grow views. My thing is just, to have a conversation. The views are going to come regardless whether, like, you come or not. Like,
that's why I was like, no, like, I'm going to pass on it.
Yeah.
She said she was cool.
It's cool. That's good. That's good. But nah, I don't, I mean, pueda que si tú es como voluntariamente le quieres ofrecer algo chido, pero si te quiere cobrar la gente, that's the biggest, I don't know. It just...
Pues tal vez ya están en una etapa de su carrera donde piensan que su tiempo sí vale bastante como para cobrar. Y pues la neta yo lo entiendo porque sé que yo también me estoy Porque se puede decir que me estoy colgando de los fans de la gente, güey.
Yeah.
Las personas que me vienen a hablar conmigo, I'm like, damn, dude, yo estoy tus fans me van a escuchar nada más por ti.
Yeah.
So, yo sí me estoy cortando. Y sí, por eso digo, cuando ella me dijo, cuando me iba a cobrar mucho, güey, me dijo que 120 la hora. Y dije, pues no está tan mal.
Yeah.
Pero de todas maneras, nada, dije, no te voy a pagar.
Nah,
tengo una conversación aquí con una mara, con un amigo y la pasamos chido también.
Yeah. No, I'm not a big fan of, like people charging for it. I mean, I understand why, pero es como que it takes away the motive,
Sí.
Like say, I don't know, maybe if they saw like a whole production, yeah. Pero güey, si es un compa, por decir, si saben que es una plataforma que es genuina y no es comercializada, bueno, digo yo que tienen que también como que, güey, no te pases de verga.
Sí,
That's what I think. I don't know. Pero one last question that I have is, like, see, you already mentioned you're going to take a break for how long?
It's going to be a month break, bro. Un mesecito. Este julio.
That's not bad.
Yeah, just July. I'm going to be doing some stuff with my family and with my wife. So, también ahorita mi esposa is I'm changing the location because I was doing it at my house and my girl had to talk with me and I get it. She doesn't feel safe bringing...
Te vas con tus cosas allá.
Sí, me dijo, no, es que a veces se ponen un poquito loud las conversaciones y están dormidos. No, y mostly because ella me había dicho que sí se sentía un poquito raro que trajera extraños a la casa. And I was like, I totally get it, So I'm going to be moving somewhere else, so este mes lo voy a usar para mirar qué es lo que voy a hacer y para el próximo mes voy a empezarle con video, güey, ya con video.
Yeah.
Okay, pues ya.
You already got the setup and everything?
Yeah. Me gustó mucho cómo tienes aquí, güey. No tengo el setup, bro. Te digo que I have some friends. They do producing of music and they have a little place where they sometimes do podcasts themselves.
Okay.
Ya los he tenido en mi episode and a few episodes actually. Son dos hermanos. And I think I'm just going to go with them.
¿Es el Danny?
Danny, yeah. Danny and Ricky Vance. Shout out to them. But yeah, I'm gonna maybe do a few episodes with them while I figure everything out. Y después lo voy a entrar duro.
I think you gotta figure it out, dude. But I think it's good to take a break. I take a break usually, maybe like around my birthday, about a couple of weeks off, and then in the holidays, about 3 weeks after the holidays. And it helps you reset.
Yeah.
Y lo más como tienes hijas.
Sí, ahí viene otra.
Ahí viene otra, tienes que estar
especialmente. Ojalá y sea niña, güey. Yo soy mucho de niñas.
¿Cuándo van a ser?
En diciembre, en los finales de diciembre. Va a ser
5 months?
Sí. Estamos emocionados, la neta.
Yo acá lidiando con un perro y tú con 3 niños. My respects.
Yo que no quería niños, güey. Yo siempre desde chico me acuerdo de sí que no quería hijos.
Yeah.
Y mírame ahora, un papá.
Un papá, eso. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're proud of their dad.
Espero, güey. Estoy tratando de hacer muchas cosas mejores, que como dices tú hace rato, estabas diciendo que ellos crezcan y tengan una mejor vida que la que yo tuve. Pero yo sé que al final del día sí, el niño no sabe, ¿verdad? Yo pienso que todos tramamos a nuestros hijos, güey. De una manera u otra, le puedes dar la mejor vida financiera o de cualquier manera que puedas pensar, pero el niño va a sufrir, güey. Se va a traumar por cualquier cosa, güey. Hasta los ricos, sus hijos están bien traumados.
Como dijo Thanos, inevitable.
Sí.
Pero es chido. No, Mau, un gustazo tenerte aquí. It's been a conversation that I wanted to have before we reach 100 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of your stuff. I listen to every episode you have. And then it's great, man. Like, whatever you do, it's gonna be cool. I'm pretty sure you're gonna find your way, and then whenever you become a millionaire, don't forget about us.
No, güey, no.
La plebada.
Te digo que yo ya tengo un plan de qué hacer cuando tenga dinero y si es ayudar un poquito más a mi comunidad, no dando handouts, pero trabajo, güey. Shit, si tú tomas fotos y yo me gano la lotería, te contrataría a ti para que fueras a ayudarme a grabar y te pagaría bien. ¿Por qué no?
Es tu propio videographer and photographer.
Sí. Así lo pienso yo.
Because I have a buddy of mine that's what I have a couple of buddies of mine that own gyms, and that's what they did. they hired a photographer and now they're like their personal one.
Sí.
Esos güeyes acá bien pinche Gucci out.
Sí, no, sí. Y les pagan bien. Yo, la neta, ya sabiendo cómo es todo esto de producir y de editar, shit, yo sí le pago a alguien porque me lo hagan, la neta.
Cámara. No, pues ahí te voy a decir cuando sale el primer Mega Million. No, pero thank you everyone for listening. It's been another great episode. And follow us on Instagram or Twitter and pretty much anywhere you follow the podcast. Otra, por favor. OtraXFavor. And also, I'm dropping I don't know if you guys seen it or not, but it's a link where, you can contact me directly. If you want to be part of the episode or you just have questions. I know sometimes people put comments on social media. I'm the worst at responding, even on my texts, but I'll do my best to reach out to everyone back. But, Mau, thank you for being here.
Gracias por tenerme, un placer.
Se cuidan, se portan bien y arriba la América.